A quick disclaimer on this video. I did this recording for the video a few days ago and I used the footage from my playthrough of Minecraft. Please don't judge me. I am not the best player. I just wanted a fresh look on the channel, but please, I still draw. I still draw dragons doing silly dances. I still draw dragons. I'm an art person. I'm just experimenting with my channel. Like I said, I still do art. Please, goodbye. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the video. So, this was a very long time ago, and I think I was about in like 3rd grade. Yeah, I was in 3rd grade. So anyway, we were not really on good terms, let's say. Me and my friend, which I still remember her name after all these years, we were not on good terms. It's hard to say how our relationship was, since I wouldn't even consider it like a healthy one. Now, for a bit of context, I think, after all these years, because I was a really stupid kid, I wasn't able to pick up on things, she kind of just forced me to do, like, the games she wanted to play, and then she was sort of like the boss, and that sort of thing. That's normal for, like, kids and stuff like that. Like, it's normal, but I feel like to her extent, it felt like whenever I suggested anything or whenever I had, like, opinions, she kind of just shut them down or something like that. And I just feel like she was not really present on the other side of the relationship. Because I was there for her. Like, I would talk to her, like, no, if she wanted help, she would talk to me, and we would get it all situated and help her. But I just felt like there was not really any, like, respect on her end of the relationship. She was not really, like, there for me. I mean, no one really, really bullied me when I was this young as a child, because I didn't really talk much. I was really quiet, but at the same time, I was really extroverted, so I liked making friends. But yeah, I just feel like she was a bit more, like, empty on her side of the, like, relationship stick. So anyway, on the playground, actually not on the playground, sorry, on the blacktop, you know, like that black stuff, yeah. Now, at this point in time, in 3rd grade, I was in the desert, and we were, like, situated back there, so it was really hot when all this was happening, I think. And this was either in, like, the spring or, like, winter, I don't know. So, we were having, like, an argument. It's what all friends do, I think, at some point, and what all people do, but I feel like, at this point, it was normal, fighting with her. She was not really good at communicating. I don't think I was good at my stick either. And if we had just really, like, situated, like, if we, like, worked through our relationship and, like, just figured out, like, what was not working and, like, oh, respect my boundaries and also respect yours. Well, that's not what it was happening. I don't remember what we were fighting about. It was usually, like, what game we would play, or, like, which person would be, like, the chaser for, like, tag or something. I don't know, like, the tagger. I really like just, like, running around. I didn't want to be, like, the chaser, since, I suck at running. Yeah. So, we were fighting, and it was a whole entire, like, situation on the blacktop. There were not that many kids out. There were, like, a lot of kids more, however, on, like, the playground than, like, on the actual blacktop, because it was really hot, because we were in the desert, and it was all really open, and there were, like, instead of, like, being one whole building for, like, classes, there were multiple, like, little trailers outside, and that would just be individual classes, and yeah, that was wonderful, absolutely wonderful, especially when, there were storms. But anyway, we were fighting on the blacktop, and I think everyone could see it, and at some point, I don't know who attacked first. I think it was her. Yeah, she hit me. Now, I respect people's boundaries. I respect when there's a point where I can just walk away. And if I want to hold up a fight, I will. But it's more, however, verbally holding it up. But I was kind of done with her crap, you know? She was a horrible friend. as I look back to this. I didn't really realize it back then, since I was so young, and I never really realized that she was such a crappy friend. Like, I just kept being friends with her because I just excused her behavior for just the sort of thing friends would do. But the behavior she was exhibiting, it was not good, healthy behavior for a third grader. So, she hit me. Now, it's... For the title, yeah, I hit her back. I did not just hit her back. Nope, I slapped her multiple times. In the face, I don't know, but I think it was in the face. And I might have kicked her at some point. Not in any of, like, the really, like, private areas. More, however, just, like, I just kicked her. So, yeah, there was an entire, like, fight going on. And I think at some point she was, like, on the ground. And she was crying. And I don't remember whether or not I was crying at that point. I think I was just, like, having a few tears in my eyes. But I was still holding up. And I would have done more. But a teacher came to us. And we were escorted off the blacktop. And that was wonderful. That was not, sorry. Anyway, we were brought to the principal's office, and it was an entire situation. I have mixed feelings about that school in particular, but I don't want to go into it for this story time. Anyway, the teacher talked to us saying how we can't put our hands on each other, and it was not right, and we should have just talked it out. And from our end of the sticks, we explained each other's, like, perspective on, like, the situation, like, the fight. I said my story, and she said hers, and at the time, I felt justified for my actions. I feel like, I know it's not right to do that sort of thing. I could have just talked it out like a civilized person, but at this point, it was not civilized. This sort of relationship was not civilized enough for us to have a mediocre conversation. I felt justified, like I said, to hit my friend, this person, this girl, who just didn't give a crap about me. She didn't really care, and she wasn't really there for me. Sure, she played with me, and sure, we had a few talks, but really, my other friends I had at the time, who were, by the way, boys, which I don't think it's really a big deal, but I had more, like, bonding, and I had more, like, I had a way better relationship with, like, the boys at school than, like, an actual friend, the actual friend she was. Like, it should have I'm just baffled by this entire thing. So, in the office, I felt many things. I felt angry that this girl was acting all innocent. Like, she hit me, and she had been just tormenting me, and she'd just been making fun of me and teasing me, and it felt uncomfortable to the point where it's hard to explain, but all you can say, it was not a good, just, friendship. It was not even, I wouldn't even call it friendship at this point. I just kept clinging to the reality. I just kept clinging to this little fantasy that, oh, we're good friends. It's okay we have fights. It's like, okay. I never really told my mom. I never really told my mom that I had a bad relationship with my friend at school. And whenever I avoided her, my mom would be like, oh, why can't you go and talk to her? Why not? It really hurt me that I wasn't able to talk to my mom. Either way, the principal sent us out of the office with just a warning, but he called our parents, and they didn't really pick us up. And they were just called, and we went back to our classes. I don't know whether or not we were in the same class at that point. I don't think we were in the same class. Either we were, or we just kind of just, like, situated ourselves. I don't really remember anything much after that, but that's all I can really remember for that entire situation. Now, here's a little context. So, a little bit later, she moved out of the school, and I was kind of by myself, but remember that the few of the, like, boyfriends I had. Not like the friends who were boys. Sorry. No, I'm not like that. Sorry. You know, like those people? Yeah, they became my main friends. And really, there was this one friend who was a boy. Sorry. This world is crazy. He was my best friend. I think that he's the only person I could ever call my best friend, since he was actually there for me. Like, yeah, it's really sad to look upon those days, but at the same time, yeah. In any case, a few years later, like a few months ago, I think, my mom was having a conversation with one of my relatives. Like, they were here at my house, and they were just talking, and I was at the stairs and, like, just listening and stuff like that, because I like gossip. I mean, I'm not such a gossipy person because I like keeping to myself, but yeah, I like hearing people, like, just talk about their stuff, like, their shtick. In any case, she was talking about, this girl, and what my mom had to say was, she was like that at home. The girl, she bullied her brothers. I don't know whether or not they were the same age as her, but she bullied her brothers, and she was difficult at home, as my mom said, and she was just horrible to her parents and just horrible to just, like, her family. And hearing this after, like, a while, and hearing this after her mom, I met her mom. Like, I saw her in the car once, like, here, I saw her in the car once, and she had a Nintendo, and I always got jealous of, like, the people who, like, had all these technologies, and I wasn't able to, like, have all this technology. I was, at this point, just watching, like, How to Train Your Dragon and, like, the TV show and that sort of thing. Yeah, I was still playing with toys, probably. But her mom was acting like everything was fine, and, like, everything was, like, cool. I'm like, oh, my daughter's such a nice daughter. We should have play dates sometimes. I don't think I ever had a play date with her. I didn't even know where she lived. I just met her at school, that sort of thing. And at least a year or two after that fight, before I left, there was, like, the last year I was on, the craziest thing, that girl tried to be friends again. Like, what? I can't even, like, grasp the freaking, like, it's not, oh, it's crazy. No, I can't even, I don't have any words for it. Like, what do you mean you want to be friends? You practically, like, bullied me. Like, you bullied me to the point where I basically had no friends. Like, you were, like, one of the people I wanted to get close to, but no, you, like, took advantage of me, and you just, like, treated me like crap. Like, come on, what do you mean you want to be friends again? I know it's, like, the sort of thing where, oh, we can go over it, and, like, oh, we can heal, but it's the fact that she moved away, and she moved back to that school. Like, she went to another school, like, at least, like, a year after that, but then she came back for my last year at the school. And she acted like all the things that happened never happened. Like, we can heal. Like, it just feels wrong, and it just felt wrong. And that's why I didn't really want to connect. I never told my mom that the girl was just blatantly being crap to me. And now I should have told her, and my mom does know now. She understood now. She understands now. And she feels really bad. I never really bring it up, but whenever I do, she feels really bad that she wasn't able to talk to me about, like, my relationship with my friends. And I always acted like, on my part, I always acted like everything was fine with my friends, and like, oh, we're good. I never really, like, explained my day at school. I always kept it to myself. And I think that's partially the part where I'm just practically blaming myself for all this relationship issues, because I could have talked to my mom or, like, my dad or something like that, but yeah. I think after all this time, like, more of, like, an opinion on the situation after this time, I don't know. I just feel like at this point, as an older individual, I'm able to reflect on my decisions, and I'm able to just like know the fact that I did this to a person, and I think after all this time, it's not right to put your hands, even if that person is being crappy to you. It's better to just walk away. But I was just so sick of her crap, and just I hit her. I hit her multiple times because it felt justifiable. Like I said, it felt like I needed my revenge to some according, in a way. It felt right to get this vengeance, get my justice that I deserved from a girl who, I don't know. I don't really know anymore. Either it was her fault or it was my fault. Either way, the relationship, we did not communicate on both of our parts. If I had just reached out and just worked things through instead of just acting like everything was okay, maybe things would have ended better with our relationship with each other. I'm not saying it was her fault entirely. We were third graders, and by the time I left, I was a fourth grader. But I just feel like it was not really anyone's fault. Our sort of just connection with each other was wrong, in a way. I just don't know. Either it was my fault or it was her fault. It doesn't really matter anymore. I've moved on from that experience, and sure, I thought about it sometimes, like last year. That's crazy, but now I don't really care. Whether or not she's a good friend to other people at this point, I don't know. I don't know where all my old friends are, and whether or not they're good people at this point, I don't know. But either way, I've moved on from that experience, and I hope she's able to move on as well. Though she probably has already. This was just a little story time, and warning, at the end of this video, I am not a story time person. I don't do these things. I just thought of just making a video about this, and just showing another side of my personal stuff, you know. I made this video really long, goodness. I don't really have anything else, but one thing I would want you to learn from the experience is you just need to talk it out. Just talk it out, just situate it, and if the relationship is not good at this point, while you've been talking it out still, just stay away from that person, disconnect yourself, cut ties, because it's better to just leave the situation alone and just leave the situation entirely than just staying and keeping at it. Just please make sure that you don't I don't know what else to put on this video, but respect your friend, 1, and 2, work things out with your friend verbally, and 3, school teachers are horrible, and yeah, I was teased a lot, and they were still looking at me. They were looking at the entire situation, but they didn't do anything. They don't do anything. Like, it's more of my personal experience, but it's not anybody's fault, and I should not blame anybody, but either way, thanks for listening to the story time, and I thought that I needed to get this out of my system. You know what? I don't hold grudges, I think, but I just keep a far distance from a person that I'd supposedly have a hard time with. So, thanks, and peace out.